This is kind of cool looking. Whoop. Keep dropping stuff. I like this. This is neat. Hey everybody, welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival. I'm an old guy gaming, and tonight in this episode we are going to continue working on the moon with our outpost that I started there in the last episode. But before we do that, I just wanted to kind of bring you up to date on the progress of the Cylon Raider here. I did a stream on Monday night, and we spent that stream working on the wings. And so I've basically put the first, I guess you would call it trim, or edges maybe, both on the inside and outside of the wings itself. And we also got started with the next layer down on the back here, with the wings here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another layer of blocks down below too, and then we're going to build them up a little higher at this point where the engines are to kind of match, you know, the actual Raider itself. And then, you know, probably build them up a little bit more out to maybe about here or so before they go back to about one layer, because they're pretty thin out in front. I also, on that stream, because the viewers requested it, we went ahead and threw some thrusters on here and actually took the Raider for a little bit of a spin. And it needs a lot. It's going to need a lot of testing, I suppose, and a heck of a lot more RCSs. I have... How many RCSs do I have on this thing? A lot. Let's group those together. There are 41 RCSs on this ship, and it still turns like a tank. Let's just do a quick test flight with it here. So the vertical thrust isn't too bad. I'd like that to be a little better than it is, but it's not terrible for such a big ship. But you know, this is how fast it turns. I mean, it's very, very, very sluggish or slow on the turning. And so, you know, the only way to fix that is basically to add the RCSs. And because this is a small vessel and, you know, not a capital ship, I can't use the Tier 2 RCSs, which are, you know, much, much better than the Tier 1. But, you know, it's coming together pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it so far. And not too much longer, I think, and we'll actually call it done, at least for the first version. I might continue to make modifications of it later on, too, but I haven't decided that. But anyway, it is, you know, it does fly, as you can see. But needs a lot more work. RCSs in particular, and, you know, really thrusters, because its lateral, you know, side by side is also extremely sluggish. I would not want to, you know, try and take on a base, turrets, and definitely not PvP or anything like that with the way this ship is now. But that's fine, because it's not, you know, it's not done yet. We still have quite a bit more work to do on it, and what I want to do is I want to, you know, finish building it out, you know, so I know what the mass of it's going to be. And then, you know, once that's figured out, you know, then we can worry about, you know, trying to, you know, make it flyable or more responsive, I guess. So anyway, it's coming along pretty good. And like I said, I'm pretty happy with the way it is so far. Get my camera set back up here. All right. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to kill a Demogorgon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some supplies, and then we're going to take the Stinger here back up to the moon, and we're going to continue working on the outpost on the moon. One of the things I want to try and get in place in this episode is the solar panels. So I'm going to make some solar panels because I think the solar power is going to be more efficient up on the moon than it is going to be down here on Akua, because, you know, there's no atmosphere and that sort of thing. So that's the plan for today. So I'm going to get that stuff ready, and then I will meet you guys back on the moon here in just for you a few seconds. Bye. There's the derelict ship, and here is our base. Okay, cool. Doesn't look like I have any lights on. Now, I'm just trying to think where the best place is going to be to put the solar panel farm. kind of depends a little bit, I think, too, on, you know, which way the drones will come from. But we want to place it, you know, where it's going to get maximum solar exposure. So I'm thinking probably up here on this high point is where we're going to want to put it. Somewhere up here. Okay, well, let's head on down here. Now, I decided to do something also off camera. I decided to go ahead and spawn in one of the more popular hovercrafts on the workshop, the Ladybug. And the reason for that is that I need a good miner up here. And so this is the Ladybug here. And it's like I said, it's a very popular miner. I actually use it in multiplayer, and it's a really good drilling hovercraft. Very well made, very simple, and so we're gonna go ahead and spawn this in up here, and I'm just gonna keep it up here so I can use it for mining. But we'll replace the manual or the mechanical drills with laser drills too as soon as we can. But I decided just to do that, you know, to save a little bit of time. I was gonna maybe spawn the Oldguy hovercraft in up here. But it's not, you know, it's not really made specifically for mining, and it gets the job done. But this just works so much better, and it's so cheap that I decided, what the hell, let's just go ahead and do a Ladybug here. So, you know, I like to build most of my stuff in single player, and you know, and I have built, you know, small vessel. I'm still building another small vessel. I will build a capital vessel, but I've already done the hovercraft. I've already built the Oldguy, and so, you know, I'm just going to go ahead, you know, for efficiency and so forth, just spawn these in and use them. So there you go. Okay. I also brought some a small Jenny and a fuel tank and some basic stuff up here to get started with some power. And so let's see here. Before we actually fire things up, I think what I want to do though is I need to go back outside and look around. So let's do that first. Well, actually, before we do that, let's drop off all this extra stuff. Oh, wait. I guess I already have a constructor and stuff up here. That's right. I forgot about that. Okay, well, we'll just put the stuff in here for now anyway. I brought some extra ore up here, too. And a bunch of extra concrete blocks, some promethium, and some oxy and that sort of thing. So we'll keep those there for now. And so what I'm thinking is, let's head up here for a second. We're going to have, if we're going to put the solar farm up here on this high spot, it's going to have to be connected to the base down below. So that means I need to run some blocks up to the top so it's connected. Might as well pick this stuff up while we're over here. Always running out of stamina. Get a pop of coffee to bring some of that back, I guess. That's why we got the coffee, isn't it? Alright, so I'm thinking, we could just drill straight down and then, you know, do an elevator up here. In fact, you know, we actually should do that. That actually makes sense to do that. So if we're going to do that though, we want to get we're definitely going to want some elevators. That's quite a ways up. So maybe what we'll need to do for now is put our cannons maybe up on top of this thing here. At least until, you know, we get everything set up there, and then we'll move them up there. It all just depends, like I said, though, on, you know, where the drones are going to actually come from. So, how do I want to do this then? Let's go grab the cannons again. They're not gonna sit nicely here. I mean, they will, but they're gonna stick out a little bit, and that's gonna bother me. My OCD's not gonna like that. So, I think what we'll do then is we'll push some of this back, and maybe put another block in there. Do that on both sides here. And we can always move the cannons later if they're not, you know, positioned in the best spot. That's not a problem at all. I put all my concrete blocks in here, didn't I? So let's just make kind of like a little pad here on both corners. And not really too worried about this yet. Well, we are. I haven't decided if I'm going to seal the garage or not. I guess it probably makes sense to do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I have to be careful because I tend to get a little carried away. You know, when I'm doing stuff like this, and this is just an outpost. I mean, it's not like a big major base, so you know, I need to try and exercise a little bit of moderation here. Not get too terribly carried away with an outpost, but it does need to be functional for sure. Okay, so we got the guns in place. We'll start there, and then we'll see, you know, if we have problems. If that's not a good placement of them, then we'll move them around. Let's get this guy inside here. And turn it around. Because once the drones do start coming, I don't want them obviously shooting at my small vessel here. Okay, so let's set up some temporary equipment. What I mean by temporary is that we're going to set it up out here for now, but once we get the actual, you know, living space done, that's where we'll actually set it up. So maybe it's actually going to be convenient that we do happen to have 2 sets of everything, at least the main stuff. And let's just use the little fuel tank here. Okay, and then we're going to put the constructor here. And we'll set the Jenny back here out of the way so we're not getting the heat on us. And then we'll just, I don't know, it doesn't matter. We'll just put this right next to it. Okay, fill that sucker up and fire up the base. Now we also need to put down this so we can put the ammo in it. Let's see, ammo should be over here. We want these bullets. Good. And those are loaded. Devices, the cannon turrets. There aren't any predators up here, and of course I'm not playing with other people, so they're fine the way they are. We'll just let it target all that stuff. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start digging back this way. How much longer do we have on the ladybug here? Oh, almost there. Okay, so we're going to spawn ladybug in. Then we're going to dig back this way, and then we're going to start digging up and get blocks all the way up to the top so we can set up our solar panel. Let's get this thing loaded with resources. those in particular. And we want to make elevators, and we're probably going to need quite a bit of them. So let's make 20. We'll start with 20 and we'll see how that goes. I'm going to need to actually move this one over as far over as I can get it. Whoops. Which isn't very far. Can't really see what the heck I'm doing here. Come on, level out. Yeah, the wings are getting caught up on the stuff, on the equipment that I put down, I think. Okay. Ladybug is done. Let's go ahead and spawn it in. It's pretty compact. Nice little drilling machine. I can't remember the name of the dude that made this, but it is called the Ladybug on the Steam Workshop, and so highly recommend it if you're looking for a simple but effective drilling machine. And so I think all we need to do is just put some gas in this thing, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. I don't know, does this have a ventilator or not? It must, because it's got an O2 station. But I don't see a ventilator. Maybe that's just for getting the oxygen right out of the hovercraft, because yeah, there's no ventilator on this thing. But okay, so let's climb in here. And turn the lights on. Oh, wait a minute. What the heck? Is it just making that sound as a sound effect, or... Let's grab some oxygen. I'm confused, man. We'll fill it up. I don't need, I got my helmet, so I don't actually need to do this. I'm more curious than anything. Okay. No oxygen wearing your helmet may help. Okay, yeah, so it's not pressurized. It must just be for the for you to get it out of the dispenser itself. Okay. So, let's bore a hole a little ways into here. And I feel like I'm forgetting something, I can't think of what it is, so let's just go. As soon as possible, I'll put some mining lasers on this. Or, what I should probably do is just grab the ones off the Oldguy hovercraft and bring them up here. Okay, let's pull back out here. Oh, got a little damage on the window there. And then we'll set her down. Right about here. Okay. So, I'm thinking that's probably far enough back. I think I want to dig a little bit more this way. So I want to try and be somewhat in the center. Okay, now we're going to just drill straight up. Well, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Because if I go up to the top and drill straight down, if I miss this, you know, not knowing what my Y coordinate actually is, you know, I could like dig all the way to the other side of the planet kind of thing. So I think I'd rather dig up and set elevators down as I work my way up. So that way, you know, it all connects. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get back over here and lay some blocks down. Back to here, and then this can go back to here. We'll just fill all of that in there. All right. Super. Now, let's go grab our elevators. I have 20 of them. And we're going to set these down and then start working our way up towards the top. Okay, and then we'll set our first elevator right about there. Oh. For a minute there, I thought I was in my drone, and I wasn't figuring out why it wasn't letting me go up. Okay. And then we just basically keep going up, placing elevators until we break through the surface. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this, and when we get up to the top, which shouldn't take too long, I will come back and we'll set our solar panels down. Alright guys, so we're back, or we're at the top rather, and I'm just going to put some blocks around the opening of the elevator here. And let's clear away some of this stuff, I guess. Try and flatten this up a bit. I've got 8 solar panels, so we're gonna make a, you know, like a little grid. So we'll have to see, you know, how wide the blocks will need to be to accommodate that. So let's start with that, and then we'll shave this off too here. Tap that. Okay. So, let's see. We're going to lay down some blocks. Let's come out to here. And then that was about 4 blocks out, I think. So we'll do the same on this side. Nope. Go the other way. There you go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, 5's good. And then let's just extend this out a ways more. I was doing a little bit of reading on the solar panels in the game, and you know, this is an alpha game, of course, so there's still, the developers have basically said that they're still working on the power in general in the game, and that the solar panels are not necessarily completely finished, basically. So we might, you know, be somewhat limited as to what we can get them to do and how efficient we can get them. But the one thing we have in our favor is that we're on the moon. So again, like I mentioned earlier, we don't have to worry about atmosphere issues. And we're going to get maximum exposure, you know, to the sun. Okay, so let's head on back down here. And we'll grab the panels. And we also need to put the battery in place too. So this little area back here is going to be the actual living space. So I'm definitely going to seal it. And this area out here, I'm probably going to enlarge this, make it a little larger, but I'll do that off camera. But let's grab the capacitor. And we'll grab, we have two. I don't think it'll let me place more than one. Let's actually test that theory. I don't know if it's a theory. 9 solar panels. That only made 8. Oh yeah, let's just make another one then. We'll have 10. Why not, right? Guess we'll put it right there. Oh, it does let us put 2 down. Okay. Well, if they both work and they can both get charged, then of course that gives us twice the battery power. The reason I wasn't sure is because if you look at the description of it, I thought it said you could only put 1 down. Unless I misread that. And these might not stay here permanently either. It all kind of depends upon, you know, how the final base actually comes together. If I end up making this the back wall, then we'll put in another set of blocks behind it because we have to seal it. Okay, let's go grab that other panel. We'll go get these things set up. Okay, so let's grab these guys. Yeah, see, these things are huge. Holy cow. Okay, let's just put 1 down and check the angle of it. Okay, so you see how that only has the 1 green light? That means it's not placed very efficiently. So let's flip this one around. See, there's the sun there. That only gives us 2. What does it look like if we place it this direction? There's 4. Okay, so that's the best angle to put this thing in. Man, yeah, these things are humongous. Okay, so let's pick these guys up. So I think what I want to do, I want to leave room for the cannons. I think, because I think I'm going to put the cannons up here. Again, it all just depends upon... Well, we know the drones aren't going to come from that direction, but they could kind of come from over there. Because I think the drone base is off that direction. I just, like I said, I don't know if they would attack these or if they would try and go straight for the core. There's not really any way to know for sure until we actually, you know, do it. So maybe what I could do is I could put some extensions out here. Like this, and then we can put the cannons on the extensions. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so I'm also thinking I might want a little bit wider of a walkway. So let's go ahead and widen this by another block on each side. Now let's try this. So we want to start here. And yeah, I think we want to start there. Okay. Alright, and then can we just bump this right up against here? Am I going to want to walk in between those? Oops. And also, now that I think about it, see, yeah, I think this might be partially blocking this because we only have 3 squares. Okay, that answers that question. Let's take this back apart, and we're going to have to make sure it's far enough back to where we have the full 4 green squares there. So if we put it back, that's where we had it. If we put it back one more, what do we got? Okay, so we got 4 full squares on that one. I like that better anyways. It's just, you know, gives us a little more room. So we'll put one there. And we'll put one here, and we'll have to just extend this out a little further. There we go. And everybody's got 4 full. Nice. Okay. Oh, hold on a sec. Yeah, we are going to have to definitely go out further. Well, let's get these down so we can start getting some power going. Because I forgot I'm doing 10 instead of 8. Whoop. There we go. This is kind of cool looking. Whoop. Keep dropping stuff. I like this. This is neat. So this does have a little shade on it, but the green squares indicate that it's getting the full deal, so... Huh, okay. So let's go ahead and move on back further with our little pad here. And I want to get up. And let's go... That's as far out it's going to let me go. Whoops. Okay. And then we'll put these final 2 down. Wait, what happened to him? Oh. I dropped him. Sometimes the buttons confuse me on this game. It's not the game's fault, it's just that, you know, you play other games too, and then you play this one, and they're all a little different. Alright, so we'll pop that one in place, and we'll pop that one in place. Cool. And there we have it, man. Our little solar panel farm. Now, I'm thinking again, just for aesthetics, let's finish this out and let's go even one more wider. That way we can kind of walk along the outside too if we ever needed to. Oh, let's just pull it. Now there is one thing we should look at. I don't think it's going to matter, but let's look at the structural integrity. Yeah, see, we got a little bit of red in the middle there, but we're not going to put anything else on this. You know what though? It might not be a bad idea for me to put a support down there. Might not be a bad idea to do that, just to be on the safe side, because I've had this the buildings sometimes do weird stuff. What the hell? That's not what I meant to do. Okay, come on, there you go. And then let's go down this aisle, and we'll pop one here at, I guess, that point. There we go. That makes that a little stronger. We still have some red though. It's probably because I don't have anything over here, I'm guessing. I don't know. Let's just put one there. Well, that definitely fixes it, but it's not even. What if we do this? And then take this back out. There we go. That works. That works. That should do the trick. And, we should probably make either an elevator or... I have 2 elevators there. An elevator or some stairs. Elevator would probably be better. So we can get up here from this side if we needed to for any reason. Okay. And that way, we can just hop right on up this way. Nice. That works. Okay. There we have it. Solar farm is done. Look at all that free power that we're getting. It's just going to be a matter now of, you know, is it going to be enough to keep the base powered when the sun goes down? Because I'm not planning on keeping the Jenny itself running when I'm not here. But I want there to be enough power, like I said, to, you know, keep the... hopefully have some crops and stuff. The thing is, those crops need to be oxygenated. So that means we got to not only keep the grow lights running, but also the ventilator. Well, those things in particular, I guess. We're starting to get some power there. Here's the thing I don't understand there, or I don't know, you know, if it matters. It only shows 1 battery, right? Even though both of these guys are on. So does this represent both of those batteries together? You know, the cumulative storage power of them or not? One way we might be able to tell is that's at 6% right now. What happens if we take this apart? And then look. See, it still says 6%. So that leads me to believe that there's no point in having more than one of these. And also, if you look at the description, if you look at the tooltip that's popping up, notice it says maximum amount 1. That's why I was thinking, you know, we can only put 1 down. So even though it lets us put more than 1 down, it appears to only actually use 1. That being said, this is filling up pretty quickly, actually. You know, 10 panels on the moon. Much faster than the solar panels that I set up on Omicron on the multiplayer game. Of course, I only set up 4 there. And it's on Omicron, so that's a good sign. That's cool. Alright, guys. Well, I think it's time for us to leave off this episode here. When we come back in the next single-player episode, I will... not sure what I'm going to do yet. Definitely want to keep working on this, and I also want to keep working on the Cylon Raider. I want to get that build finished so that we have a functional, warpable ship. And then, not too long after that, it'll be time for us to start working on a capital ship. Okay? And then we have lots of POIs to loot, lots of resources to mine here on the moon, which is the main reason, of course, why we're here. So lots of stuff coming up. I am playing Empyrion multiplayer on stream. Typically, we do that Tuesday nights, and then we also do it Saturday mornings. So if you guys are interested in coming and hanging out with me during a live stream, I'd love to have you. It'd be fun to have you come by and chat and just hang out while we're doing multiplayer. So feel free to do that. You can find my the link to my Twitch channel in the About section of my YouTube channel. And otherwise, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye.